Good morning, a warm welcome to BBC News. David Cameron is facing criticism after describing migrants coming to Europe as a swarm amid the continuing crisis at Calais. The Refugee Council says his comment was awful and dehumanising. The Prime Minister insisted that everything would be done to make Britain's borders secure and said he was working hand in glove with the French. Hundreds of migrants made fresh attempts last night to break down fences, breach Channel Tunnel security and get to the UK, in spite of tough new measures, including 120 more French officers. Our assistant political editor Norman Smith is in Westminster for us now. Norman.
Nick, thanks very much. Well, there has been widespread criticism from across the political board to Mr Cameron's suggestion or description of migrants at Calais as a swarm. We've heard from the Refugee Council, who described his comments as extremely inflammatory. The UN representative for migration has also suggested that sort of language is xenophobic and excessive. Peter Sutherland, the Commissioner, suggested that Britain's record in terms of taking refugees was pretty unimpressive compared to other EU countries. He suggested, for example, that Germany had something like 175,000 applications last year. Britain only had 24,000, and he noted that the problem in Calais, he said, was relatively small. But judge for yourself, just have a listen to what Mr Cameron said this morning.
Look, this is very testing, I accept that, because you've got a swarm of people coming across the Mediterranean, seeking a better life, wanting to come to Britain, because Britain has got jobs, it's got a growing economy, it's an incredible place to live, but we need to protect our borders by working hand in glove with our neighbours, the French, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, joining me now is Labour's acting leader, Harriet Harman. And what do you make of Mr Cameron's use of this word swarm?
Well, he should remember he's talking about people, not insects. And I think it's a very worrying turn that he appears to be wanting to be divisive and set people against, whip people up against the migrants in Calais, when what he should have been doing, and should have been doing months ago and was warned to be doing, is to get the situation sorted out with the French. All of these people need to be assessed as to whether or not they're genuine refugees, in which case they should be granted asylum, or they're not, in which case they should be deported. But just sounding off against people, describing them as a swarm, is not the way to solve the problem for all the lorry drivers and all the holiday makers who are having a nightmare on this side of the channel as well as on the French side.
The Prime Minister has used the word swarm, I think, to refer to people. Is that a word you would use?
No.
People swarming?
No, that's not, I'm not seeking to use language like that.
So this is an interesting reversal of roles, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, the Prime Minister is this morning trying to sound tough. Whether he actually means it or not is quite a separate question.
You had a situation yourself, didn't you?
I mean, a couple of times I've been stuck on the motorway and surrounded by swarms, of potential migrants to Britain. And once even they tried the back door of the car to see whether they could get in.